You know, so one thing you really need to keep in mind if you're coming to Northern Nicaragua is that there are other spots other than the boom. You know, it's crazy to say that and like not have people realize that, but so many people come here and they just surf the boom, and there'll be 40 people out there on a day like today, guaranteed. And here, right around the corner, you know, a couple kilometers away, you can surf alone. And you know, I'll be honest with you, that's the case in almost all of Northern Nicaragua. It's kind of a beach break paradise here. If you just look around, yeah, I got that nasty saltwater taste in my mouth. If you just look around, you're gonna find like a lot of waves and a lot of unridden waves. And that's just the way it is up here. It's still hot. It's off the beaten path. It's not Popoyo. It's not as offshore as Popoyo. As you can see, the wind hasn't even really picked up. It's probably like 8 o'clock in the morning and the wind hasn't even really picked up yet. It doesn't even really usually pick up till 11. And usually by about 1 or 2, it goes on shore. So, yeah, Northern Nicaragua is kind of the dream. Something I learned in 15 years as a snowboarding coach is that, you know, if you're in conditions that are really pushing your ability level, that are making you actually focus on the conditions, you're not going to progress as fast with the performance side of the sport you're doing, because you're having to concentrate so much of your energy on just staying alive and handling the conditions. Whereas when you take a step back and you get into conditions that are less challenging, you can work more on the things you want to work on. And for me, for example, in surfing, that's my turns. And conditions like today are perfect because they don't really challenge me in terms of, I'm not that intimidated by these types of waves. And so I'm gonna be able to push my limits performance-wise more than I would say if it was 6 foot and barreling. Another thing is the crowd factor, because when you're in a crowded lineup with a bunch of people at a famous surf spot, like say the Boom or Popoyo or Playa Negra in Costa Rica, places like that where you've always got a crowd to contend with, you're gonna be so focused on just trying to get a wave that maybe you're not gonna be so focused on what you're gonna be doing once you're up on the wave. Whereas today I really wanted to focus on my my rail turns and getting my surfboard on rail, and not only just getting it on rail, but also like completing the turn on the rail, switching back to the other rail, and continuing down the line. And I really feel like I got a couple waves today that I really got to work on that, and that always feels really good. And that wouldn't really be possible if I was around the corner surfing at the Boom. Because, you know, as you can see, even now at high tide, there's only a couple people out. There's a couple longboarders out now because it's gotten a little bit mushier. Oh, she got one. Go, longboarder, go. Oh, why'd you jump off? You should have stayed on. But yeah, the conditions weren't super challenging. It was like maybe 3 to 5 feet out there. It's smaller than it's been in a while. Go, longboarder, go. Oh. No, longboarder, no. It's smaller than it's been in a while. And it was really fun, you know. I really did feel like I did get some work on my frontside turns out there today. And so yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that.